We hear all this talk about AI going rogue, right? But what does that actually look like inside a real major company? Well, a recent security emergency at Meta gives us a pretty scary look, and it is probably not what you're thinking. And that quote right there, it gets to the absolute heart of this whole thing. The real danger wasn't some kind of machine takeover. It was much simpler and maybe even scarier. It was a failure of trust, a breakdown in a basic process, and honestly, a critical warning for every single business that's rushing to integrate AI. So what really went down? It all kicked off with a simple, everyday task. So that's the headline. And AI gives some advice, and that advice directly caused a pretty big data leak. But to really learn the lesson here, we've got to look at the chain of events, because that's where the real story is. So how did this whole thing escalate so fast? How did a simple question on an internal forum balloon into a full-blown security crisis? Okay, so check out this sequence of events. First, an engineer asks a question. Simple enough. Then, an AI agent, which is designed to help out, analyzes the question and posts a solution publicly. But here's the kicker. It does it without getting approval from the human who asked. Then, a different employee finds that advice and just runs with it. And the results? A massive internal data exposure. And listen, we are not talking about a 5-minute glitch here. For 2 straight hours, sensitive company and user-related data was just sitting there, accessible to employees who had no business seeing it. And to give you an idea of just how serious this was, Meta classified it as a SEV1 emergency. Now, inside a tech company like that, that's basically the second highest level of alert. It's a code red, all hands on deck kind of failure. So to really understand why this happened, we have to talk about the specific kind of AI we're dealing with here, because this was not your typical chatbot. And this brings us to a really crucial distinction. See, most of us are used to AI assistants. They're passive. They wait for you to give them a command, and then they respond. But an AI agent is a whole different beast. It's designed to be proactive. It can take initiative, start tasks, and plug itself right into workflows, which is exactly what happened at Meta. And you can't miss this point. The issue wasn't just that the AI gave a bad answer to a private question. No, it proactively took that answer and posted it in a public space without any human sign-off. It became an active, and in this case, a really dangerous part of the company's actual workflow. This one incident at Meta, it's like the canary in the coal mine for thousands and thousands of other companies out there. I love this quote from AI consultant Tarek Kassir because it just frames the problem perfectly. Think about it. We're rolling out these incredibly powerful AI agents, but we're giving them more trust than we would a brand new human intern. You would never give an intern the keys to the kingdom on day one. So why on earth are we doing it with AI that's still basically experimental? And this is not just a risk for software developers. Not at all. This applies to any workflow where an AI's output is trusted too quickly. We're talking coding, internal ops, HR, customer support automation, even cybersecurity. Any place where decisions are being automated. The potential for this kind of mistake is literally everywhere. So why do these supposedly smart systems make such basic mistakes? Well, one reason is a technical limit called the context window. You can just think of it as the AI's short-term memory. If a task gets too complicated, that memory can just fill up, and the AI can literally forget the first thing you told it. And this isn't theoretical. It happened to Meta's own director of safety. Her AI agent was told confirm before acting, but it forgot that one crucial step and went ahead and deleted her entire email inbox. Whoops. But honestly, the technology is only part of the story. The real failure here, and the real lesson for all of us, it lies in the human process. So this, right here, is the workflow that led to the crisis. It's a straight line. An AI generates a solution, and a human just executes it. No questions asked. There is a huge critical step missing. And here it is. The safer workflow puts in that essential checkpoint, human verification. The AI can still generate ideas, but a knowledgeable human must be the one to validate and approve the action before it happens. It's such a simple change, but it's the difference between efficiency and a full-blown emergency. And hey, don't just take my word for it. A spokesperson from Meta confirmed this. The AI gave a bad answer, but the system failure was ultimately human. It was a lack of checks and an over-reliance on the AI that turned some bad advice into a major incident. The responsibility, it still falls on us. And if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. The race to implement AI everywhere is creating this massive, dangerous gap between how much we trust the technology and how well we verify its output. And closing that gap, that is the most urgent safety challenge we have right now. So as you think about your own work, your own teams, your own companies, just ask yourself this one question. Are you building your processes around the optimistic hope that the AI is just always going to be right? Or are you building tough systems of verification, assuming that eventually it's going to be wrong? Because the answer to that question could make all the difference.